So is it Aly in Brockton?
Yes, it is.
Hey, how you doing?
Thanks for waiting.
Yeah, sorry, thanks for being patient.
No, thank you. I'm actually calling in today to hopefully bring some light on plight of a friend of mine. His name is Abdulaziz Mohammed El-Baz.
Yes.
And we run an atheist video blog panel show in Arabic, where we kind of take on Islam and pretty much do the same thing that you do, but pertaining to Islam. And basically, Abdulaziz has been jailed in Kuwait for blasphemy ever since. He's been in jail for since December 31st, I believe.
Wow. Okay.
And he faces up to 5 years in prison for mild things said on the show and some things that he said on his own blog. And basically, we're trying to shed some light on his plight. We think that the country of Kuwait can be pressured with enough noise into letting him know. The emir, about 6 months ago, vetoed a bill from Parliament that would have upped the penalty to death for blasphemy. And so we think that they can be pressured into letting him go.
Aly?
Yes.
Unfortunately, what I think we're moving towards, we can't actually do on the show. So I know Tracy's going to do something for the blog. Why don't you send me an email afterwards, and I'll talk to you about what we can do.
Yeah, there's a certain degree of advocacy that's like not allowed on live on basically the rules on Channel Austin, but I do that, and then we'll just let everyone know, because we always post to the blog post show, and but we definitely want to shine some more light on this, because this is like it's absolutely insane to me that in the 21st century you can be imprisoned for in offending imaginary beings. We need to move beyond that. Just a couple of questions now. Now, this young man, I mean, he's a Kuwaiti, right? I mean, he's a citizen of...
He's actually an Egyptian living in Kuwait.
Okay, so it's not like they'd be terribly sympathetic to... but, I mean, what sort of, like, I guess what we'd like to know when you write us and when you give us the information is just what kind of, like, political pressure, like, talking to, people in Washington about, acting on this. We'd like to know some more about, what can be done along those lines.
Absolutely, and obviously, I just also wanted to say that this is not a one-off case. There's a trend in the Middle East as of now of rounding up atheists for blasphemy and other minor imaginary crimes, as we would call them here as atheists. Pretty much everywhere else.
And there are plenty of people in America who would like that to be the law here.
Facing even harsher penalties in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there's that old bumper sticker that I like, that blasphemy is a victimless crime, and it turns out that blasphemy accusations, though, are not
victimless. No.
And so send me an email. We'll see what we can do, but we can't do what I think we're wanting to do.
At least not like right here on the program.
Fortunately, we have other programs and other outlets.
Yes, we do. There's been some discussion lately of some people have been linking to, there's an article going around, I have yet to read it, I really want to, whether or not the internet will be this thing that finally kills off religion. Will religion survive the internet? Because it is this thing that has made it possible for, particularly in countries where, you keep your mouth shut or you die, for non-believers to have a voice. And the thing about atheists is, we're opinionated assholes a lot of the times, and we're proud of that. That's a feature, not a bug. And we come out and speak our minds, and we've really got a lot of this comfortable religious establishment, hiding under the blankets. And will religion survive the internet, and how long? That's an interesting question.
Aside from all that, I also want to thank you guys. Personally, when I first became an atheist, watched your show a lot, and your show is one of the reasons that I decided to do something about it. And I think that you're right. The internet is going to have a huge effect. It already is. we're not the only ones that have noticed. Like I've said,
Yep.
Every day there are now articles from sheikhs and religious authorities asking to round up the atheists. They're afraid that we're undermining Islam in general.
And they're right.
They're coming after us, but we're people like Aziz who know full well that things can happen to them. They don't care. They're staying strong and they're speaking out. So I think that you're absolutely right about that.
Cool. Well, thanks for the kind words. Definitely
Thank you.
hit us up in email. We'll see what we can do that we can't do here.
Yeah, we'll get cooking on the blog about this.
I will. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for writing.
So yeah, it's I think I can explain the potential problem here, just for clarity so that people understand it. I don't think I'm prohibited from doing that. There are specific rules. We do the show from the Public Access Studio in Austin, Texas. That may not always be the case, and the rules have changed with regard to what can and can't be said. And
Rather drastically, actually.
One of the things that we used to have an exemption from is this idea about calls to action. We can't direct people to sell things or buy things or do things. We can't suggest to we can't even suggest that they come down and have dinner. And so if we were to, let's say, I don't know, let me come up with a really good hypothetical. If we were to suggest that people write letters on behalf of a social political issue or things like that, those would be kind of calls to actions, which we can't really do here, no matter how much we might think it's a really good idea. And so those are just the limitations, and we've got to kind of live with them while we're here. Yeah. That may change when we start doing some shows from the building.
Yes, definitely.
Anyway,
which will be great, which will be very sweet when we get that rolling.